Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. The masked men, armed with a gun and machetes, pursued the 17-year-old victim in Gipton, East Leeds, at about 3 p.m. on July 7 last year. During the chase, the handgun was fired at the male, but the bullet lodged in the barrel of the converted blank-firing pistol. The victim fled into a nearby convenience store and escaped out of the back door. Frightened members of the public called cops, and they detained the 4 suspects in Brownhill Terrace, Hare Hills. A 16-year-old male was found hiding in a garden with a machete tucked down his waistband. Kamal Johnson, 19, Zane Gatewood, 18, and a 17-year-old male were located in the garden of another address on the street. Gatewood jumped over a fence into the neighboring garden, but was then detained by officers. He was also found with a machete down his trousers. A further machete was found in a dog kennel in the garden where the 3 had been found. Kamal Johnson, 19, Zane Gatewood, 18, and a 17-year-old male were located in the garden of another address on the street. Gatewood jumped over a fence into the neighboring garden, but was then detained by officers. He was also found with a machete down his trousers. A further machete was found in a dog kennel in the garden where the 3 had been found. A converted blank-firing handgun along with 4 rounds of 9mm ammunition was found in a black Louis Vuitton manbag in the neighboring garden. CCTV showed that the 17-year-old had the handgun at the time. Inquiries revealed that the 4 were known members of an urban street gang, and the youth they had targeted was linked to a rival gang. The group had walked 3 miles into an area associated with the rival gang, apparently looking for any opposing gang member to target. A converted blank-firing handgun along with 4 rounds of 9mm ammunition was found in a black Louis Vuitton manbag in the neighboring garden. CCTV showed that the 17-year-old had the handgun at the time. Inquiries revealed that the 4 were known members of an urban street gang, and the youth they had targeted was linked to a rival gang. The group had walked 3 miles into an area associated with the rival gang, apparently looking for any opposing gang member to target. A converted blank-firing handgun along with 4 rounds of 9mm ammunition was found in a black Louis Vuitton manbag in the neighboring garden. CCTV showed that the 17-year-old had the handgun at the time. Inquiries revealed that the 4 were known members of an urban street gang, and the youth they had targeted was linked to a rival gang. The group had walked 3 miles into an area associated with the rival gang, apparently looking for any opposing gang member to target. Following their arrests, specialist officers launched an investigation. Detailed analysis of the clothing worn by the suspects seen on CCTV chasing the victim showed exact matches for the 4 arrested shortly afterwards, along with the weapons recovered. The victim did not want to cooperate with the investigation, and those arrested gave no comment when interviewed. The 4 were subsequently charged with offenses including attempted murder, affray, and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. They pleaded not guilty to attempted murder, but admitted the firearm offense and the affray. Johnson pleaded guilty to possession of an offensive weapon in relation to bleach he had with him. Gatewood and the 16-year-old each admitted possession of a machete. They were sentenced at Leeds Crown Court today. Johnson and Gatewood were each sentenced to 7 years and 2 months in custody. The 17-year-old was sentenced to 7 years and 5 months, and the 16-year-old was given a term of 4 years and 9 months. These 4 had armed themselves with a viable firearm and machetes, and gone hunting for a rival gang member, and clearly didn't care about the consequences or the fear their actions brought to the local community. The city never truly sleeps, but in the middle of the afternoon, it has a pulse, a steady rhythm of people going about their lives. The sun casts long shadows on the cracked pavement, its warmth doing little to thaw the tension that simmers beneath the surface of this neighborhood. 4 figures move with purpose, their steps quick, synchronized. They don't blend in, though they try. Hoodies pulled tight, hands buried deep in pockets, shoulders hunched. They are predators, and their prey is just ahead, oblivious to the impending storm. Javier doesn't hear them at first. The street noise, the honk of a distant car, the murmur of a sidewalk vendor calling out deals, the chatter of kids playing on the stoop, fills his ears. He's thinking about his next move, about what he has to do to stay ahead. In a life like his, standing still means getting caught. Then he hears it. Footsteps, fast, too fast for someone just walking. His instincts kick in before his brain catches up. He turns, eyes darting past the rows of rundown buildings, past the cracked windows reflecting the setting sun. That's when he sees them. 4 of them. He knows them. Knows their faces, their colors, the way they move like a unit. They're not just some random guys. They're here for him and they're armed. Javier doesn't think, he runs. His heart slams against his ribs as his feet pound the concrete. The world blurs, the edges of buildings warping as adrenaline pumps through his veins. He dodges past a woman pushing a stroller, nearly knocking her over. She shouts something, he doesn't hear it. The gang behind him isn't hesitating. They're gaining. He ducks into an alley, his breath sharp and uneven. He knows these streets, knows every twist and turn, every shortcut that might buy him a few more seconds of life. But they know them too. He leaps over a trash can, its contents spilling onto the pavement. A dog barks wildly from behind a rusted gate. A siren wails in the distance, but it's moving away, uninterested in the violence about to unfold. Javier risks a glance over his shoulder, bad decision. The closest one is just feet behind him, his face twisted in determination, his hand gripping something beneath his hoodie. Gun. Javier pushes himself harder, but his legs feel heavy. The fear is dragging him down, making the air thick in his lungs. He takes a sharp turn, hoping to lose them, but he miscalculates. Dead end. The brick wall in front of him is high, too high to climb in time. He spins around, panting, watching as the 4 figures slow their pace. Now they're taking their time. Javier's back is against the wall, literally. He clenches his fists, though he knows it won't matter. This isn't a fight. This is an execution. The leader steps forward, his hoodie casting a shadow over his face. He tilts his head slightly, like he's studying Javier, savoring the moment. Then he pulls the gun. The others fan out, forming a semicircle, making sure there's no escape.
Javier swallows hard. You don't have to do this. The leader smirks. Should have thought about that before. The gun rises. Javier closes his eyes. The shot shatters the silence. And then another. And another. The echoes bounce off the alley walls, sending pigeons scattering into the sky. Footsteps. Running. Then nothing. The city breathes again. A moment later, a car alarm blares in the distance. A baby cries in a nearby apartment. Someone, somewhere, keeps on living. Javier does not. The 4 figures disappear, slipping back into the veins of the city, vanishing into the same streets that had once been their playground. For them, this is just another afternoon.